Good afternoon, guys. I'm hiking up to the Bonneville Shoreline Trail again, not because there's any particular plants I want to look out for. In fact, I don't think this area is too botanically interesting, but I do know there's a big patch of Myrtle Spurge, or actually I'd say a rather small patch that I didn't weed the last time I was up here, and I think it's still manageable, so I want to take it out while I still got a chance. There's a chance the fruit have already gone to seed, but I'm hopeful that it's not quite gone like that yet. But I might just talk about botany on the way up anyways. I mean, it's either doing this or hiking up Grandeur Peak. My legs are not up for that today, unfortunately. So, spoiler, that might be the next big video I make. Got some Physcarpus malvaceus here. It's a Mallow Ninebark, classic member of Rosaceae you find in the Rocky Mountain forests, especially, well, certainly in Utah. It's a very major component. But no doubt it's found widely throughout the western United States. Oh, look at gosh. See, it's rose family flowers right here, too. How nice is that? Pretty small. You can see my finger for comparison, but they normally occur in clusters sort of like this. I forgot how steep this trail can be at times. It's, of course, a forest of the classics, Acer grandidentatum and Quercus gambelii. See both of them on either side of the trail right now. More or less fully leafed out. Well, the Gambel Oak is still starting to leaf out. These clearly aren't fully done yet. Because, both, as I said before, spring started early here, but the progress has slowed down a lot through April. But it's currently 92 degrees right now. I am not super excited about having to do a bunch of weeding, but it's what must be done, unfortunately. So onward to go. So well developed this miner's lettuces here, like Claytonia perfoliata. And here we have what I believe is a member of Saxifragaceae. This is Lithophragma parviflorum. It's known as just small woodland star, I believe. Don't quite know the common name, but you can see its leaves down there. Also a bunch of Gallium aparine, I believe, growing alongside all these plants, like right there. Commonly called bed straws, which once you see them sort of makes sense. But anyways, I see this plant around, but I haven't really gotten around to trying to learn and properly ID it until recently. So that's what it is, Lithophragma parviflorum. Not too familiar with Saxifragaceae as a family, to be honest, but I probably should be because it's a pretty important one in the northern hemisphere for the most part. Man, hiking this trail is really just showing how good an idea it was to not hike up Grandeur Peak today, because that trail is steep. It goes like some 3,000 feet up and about 2.2 miles. It is not easy though, at least it doesn't last too long. And when I was at my peak fitness, I almost did it in under an hour going up one time. It's like an hour and 2 minutes, which I think is pretty good. This trail, I'm seeing a lot of the Wyethia amplexicaulis, which I talk about way too much on this channel. Or northern Mules Ear. Let's turn the ISO up so you can see better. There we go. Really cool plant species, I think, but really only because I think all plant species are cool. It is very common, I guess. Maybe its leaves do look like the ears of a mule. You guys tell me. But anyways, it is related to Balsamorhiza sagittata quite closely, and I made a video on how to tell them apart. I don't think you're going to see any Balsamorhiza sagittata on the trail though, and they are both more or less pretty closely related to a true sunflower, a Helianthia, because that's the tribe they're in. But that's again not what I'm here for today, nor am I here for the nice Physcarpus lettifolius we got here. Classic of the mountain brush and super rocky sites usually, but this is a rather deeper soil forest in this part at least. I mean, actually there's probably some rocks not much below the surface, but on this nice north-facing slope, the soil retains moisture much more and creates a much nicer microsite. Not the kind of one you expect to see a lot of the Physcarpus lettifolius, but it persists nevertheless. Oh, is that a gall? Wow. Look at that thing up there. Am I on that right? Whew. Wonder what makes that. Probably some kind of wasp. That's the best view we're going to get of it with my camera. grab it with my hand so I can show you a little bit better. Yeah, it's like a weird ball of leaves and overgrowth that I presume must be caused by either a fungal pathogen or some kind of insect that causes this, induces the plant to do this, and then feeds upon the extra tissue. So that galliformers are typically doing. Even the fungal ones are usually trying to get the plant to produce extra tissue so it can feed upon. Again, not what I'm coming out here for. I'm here for the Myrtle Spurge today. I'm not seeing any Myrtle Spurge on this hill right now, but I'm positive this is the right one. So I'm going to hike uphill for a bit and see if I find anything. And I presume I will. If I don't, I mean, I'll just move on, I guess. But I'm almost certain this is the hill. I saw a bunch of it, so let's see what I find. It's kind of crazy. I'm seeing nothing up here. I'm not far above the trail, but I know where the site was. There was certainly would have been some Myrtle Spurge I could have seen easily, but there's nothing here. So either someone came up and pulled it or we're at the wrong spot. I'm starting to think it's the latter one. Maybe it's further back that way. So I'll head down there soon, but you got some nice plants up here. There's lots of the Petrodoria pumila coming up. I guess maybe that was kind of a rare plant species, but actually it seems like it's pretty common. Some sort of native grass. Is that purple freon? I don't think it is, but it does look like it must be native. It'd be too early to see it's freons if it is, but I'm pretty bad at grasses, okay, so you gotta forgive me for that. It's got a little bit of Poa bulbosa everywhere, unfortunately. It's kind of an annoying non-native, but it could be worse for sure. And we got some Cirsium new mexicanum, or perhaps undulatum, starting to come up right there. They're both biennial species, so the first year you see them, they're a rather small rosette. Second year, it's a big rosette that then produces a central stalk. That then is, of course, going to bear a flower or inflorescence, and then die not long after. Both good native species, but a little tricky to tell apart sometimes. And it wouldn't be the Wasatch foothills without Penstemon cyananthus. Scientific name should be pretty obvious. It's got some fairly cyan-looking flowers. Maybe that's not what it refers to, but that's what I choose to believe. And it is called the Wasatch Penstemon. It is found outside of the Wasatch foothills. It's Penstemon platyphilus, but it actually is more or less completely restricted to the Wasatch foothill region. But I'm pretty sure it can be found more broadly in the Rocky Mountains. Looking there exactly, but both really great species. I'm seeing much more of the cyananthus so far this year. The nearest platyphilus might be more on Mount Olympus, but anyways, back down to the bottom. The foothill death camas, or Toxicoscordium paniculatum, is in full bloom as well. It's a very toxic member of the family Malanthiaceae. That's pretty much par for the course for that family. It's got a lot of other toxic members, such as Veratrum. This is a genus of false hellebores. Most notably, you see Veratrum californica around here. And also, I'm noticing that the blue flax, Alinum lewisii, starting to go into bloom here. Really cool plant. Doesn't get too tall. It's only like a foot, maybe a foot and a half at most. It's half a meter for you metrically inclined. It produces these nice blue flowers, and it produces a new one each day. So if I came back tomorrow, the flowers I'd see would be different from the ones I had yesterday. Some spent petals, like from earlier today or yesterday. Nice plant. I wonder if it can be used for making rope or fiber, like the flax used in cultivation is. Now, where's that darn Myrtle Spurge? Okay, I had just gone a little bit too far with that one, but there is the plant. And unfortunately, it's already starting to produce fruit, so I don't know if I can really save this place from the next generation of Myrtle Spurge that's going to erupt, but I can try at least. Yeah, some are still flowering at least, so maybe this isn't, I imagine most of them are only just barely got to fruiting, so, and none seem to have dehisced yet, so I might still be in luck, but this is going to be working. And the only thing about this weed is that it just seems like they never go away once you actually start seeing them. Like you'll never be done with them because there will always be more plants for whatever reason. I guess just because it's hard to notice all of them at once. But man, they are frustrating. And they produce so many little seedlings you gotta keep an eye open for as well. Alright, there's some more over there. So I believe Quercus acuminata or runcinata. I can't remember. I can kind of remember which is which, but one has more of a dandelion-like flower. One looks more like a regular flower. By flower, I mean capitulum. One looks more like just almost like the capitula's been reduced to be just a few petals to make it look like really just like a regular flower. Yeah, that's a Quercus. Looks like a Dr. Seuss plant almost. Another thing with these plants too is that when you start pulling them and start throwing the debris everywhere, it might fall on top of existing or living specimens, and you'll have a hard time pulling them apart. So it can sometimes pay dividends to come back and revisit sites often, but I don't want to do that because I'm on a slope and I don't want to cause too much erosion. So I'm really trying to get this all done in one go here. I mean, I'll probably revisit it eventually, of course, but I just want to make sure I do as much as possible right now. I am glad for once though that I made it before they actually shot their seeds out. They have these fruit that dehiss explosively and throw the seeds some 10, 15, maybe 20 feet away, which a few plants do that. It's kind of an interesting thing in my opinion, but I don't hold it against them, of course. It's just a feature of biology. I'd love to see these plants in their native habitat in like the Eastern Mediterranean, but of course they also often snap just below the surface, leaving the root behind. Oh man, my gloves are so sweaty right now. There's a little hole in them. I just tipped my hands up and some sweat just started dripping out. I thought my water bottle was leaking for a second. Moving up that way. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off so I can focus better. Now, although these plants are everywhere here, the invasion is not super thick yet, but that makes it even more important a reason to get at it now, while there's still some chance at controlling it and reducing the effort it would take later, because I know no one else is working on this, so it really seems like it's all up to me. Okay, moving further up. How much further up do I gotta go? Because I really want to make sure I don't leave any stone unturned this time. Ooh, I thought there's a bug calling me, but it's just some more sweat dripping down my arm. These gloves are kind of nasty. All right, another annoying thing about this plant is that it grows right amongst like woody shrubs and stuff like that in the brush, so it's going to be very hard to get them all. Of course, they can then, if you don't get them, act as a reservoir for future years' seedlings, shooting out their seeds in every which direction. So you got to make sure you get everything, even if it's uncomfortable. I mean, everything counts when working with this plant, but you're gonna get the most mileage if you get as much as possible in a single go. Alright, I ripped those ones, so aha, I got the root this time. I hope I'm actually here. This is a Balsamorrhiza sagittata, by the way, and Wyethia amplexicaulis right next to it. Not too hard to tell apart, but I made an excellent video on how to tell the two species apart. Go check it out if you want to. I think this might be one of my best videos if I'm can toot my own horn for a second. Okay, at this point I know I'm going to see a bit more Myrtle Spurge in just a few seconds, because that's just how it always is, but I think it really feels like I'm done for now. Might be some more that way, maybe that way a little bit, but I know I did a number on them. Now, you can definitely see the impact it had on the ground though. There's definitely areas where it's clear I've stepped, and I'm not saying it's a good thing, but in the long run, this is something the landscape will recover from, I think, relatively quickly. Myrtle Spurge, if left untreated, is something it'll take a long time to recover from, and a lot more trampling and active treatment to get that fixed. So I did what I had to do, and again, I got as much as I could right now because I want to minimize this kind of trampling in the future. Yeah, so I have another sweep just in case, but I think I really got almost all of it here. Famous last words, I know. As I said, famous last words, but hopefully this just might be the last of the Myrtle Spurge. Not happy about this, but again, I'm doing what I have to do here. Oh yeah, right from the root. These gloves do work very nice, I should add. They're almost certainly, I have no doubt, more expensive than regular rubber gloves, but they have lasted longer. Kind of funny, these plants produce a toxic latex, so I need to wear rubber gloves to avoid that toxic rubber compound. Oh, this stinks. I just want to go back so bad. Okay, I think I just about got it all with these last few. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. All right, well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and inspire you to do some weeding of yourselves. See you next time.